Well, hello, my dear companions. Welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Let's continue this. I open the book and start the prologue. By the way, it's a Saturday evening when I record this, so it's a lot of partying outside in my neighbor's apartments, but I don't think you will be able to hear it. I can hear the music pretty loud, but I will edit the sound, so I don't think you will be able to hear it. Let's continue. Bam. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. I guess not. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... You really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. She's so adorable. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of us. Two of them? Two of them? Or between the desks, okay. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Oh. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book up, open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes the left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. That's adorable. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. Reading together. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Yes, I am. To turn the page. Yes, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. She's so gorgeous, damn. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I am ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished. She finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as he catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kinda reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
He remains silent for a moment.
But Zalzar, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Oh my god, girl, damn. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Sorry, Yuri. Let's moist our palate. A lot of reading in this game, a lot of reading. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we all share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that right, Yuri?
You look kind of
Down.
I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
Oh, it's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some reading tonight. Would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. Cool. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Righty then. I stand up. I make a mental note that where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag.
By the way, do you remember to write the poem last night?
Yep. My session ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that's everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
I can't wait!
Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. That's Sayori for you. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Oh, first! We kinda chose to pick the words that fit Yuri most. So let's go with Yuri to show her the first. Yuri seems most experienced, so I'm gonna show them to them all. Okay, I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Reads the poem and notes her eyes lighten. Yeah, because she liked this kind of poem.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Oh, did I say that out loud?
First covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
She's going to hit me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a deep breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imaginary and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Oh?
Stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant...
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces a finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I'm kind of learning to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finished her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them or building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though.
How?
Well, never mind. Shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. Yuri? Not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if there are rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Yes! They are also reluctant on showing each other the writing. Ghost under the lights. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present while living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That's beautiful, that's beautiful.
I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting.
I think it was good. Wasn't thinking that at all. I love this music.
But it took you a long time to read.
I'm a slow reader, okay?
Well, I just don't
read scripts very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild.
Okay.
Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts? Ghosts, Yuri?
Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about the ghost at all, Zalzar.
Oh, it's about her, maybe. Totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you didn't only glance over it. I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that Poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story, paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot of more solemn, putting it that way.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Let's moist our palate. That's impressive.
It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yes, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Zalzar.
Me too. Also, we're gonna do this with all of them? Wow. Let's go with Sayori.
This is a good poem, Zalzar. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. That you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just you wrote one. Just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Our second time at the clubhouse. Or club meeting. Not to mention that the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club... What? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Zalzar. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. The main reason. Know how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you.
Right, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing your forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Or are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
That was a good one. Sayori. Yeah, I was thinking that. Did it wait until this morning to write this? This was kind of from her diary.
No, just a little bit.
Can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Didn't mean to say that that it is a bad poem. Came out nice. How should I put it? Sounds just like you. Like a ball of sunshine. Really? Yeah. Especially that last I want breakfast.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess that's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monika's the best.
Yeah?
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look
forward to that. Or to it. Let's go with Natsuki and with Monika.
Zalzar, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home.
What? Chill. Harsh.
What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? You think I'm stupid?
Moist our palate. You really dry up when you read this much. I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, they put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it.
Oh, painful to think.
Oh, painful to think about.
Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you, you want to improve, but you're better off just trying. But you're better off just trying again.
Fair enough. This music is so chill, I love it. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay, is this supposed to be like a code or something? I guess all the different animals are better than the humans, so we can all try. That's about it. Kinda.
Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
I understand.
But the other nice thing about the simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for the rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose.
Oh.
It helps bring out the best feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yes, not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. They are so charming, all of them, in their own ways. They don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I wouldn't take that away from her. Let's go with Monika. Monika.
Hi, Zalzar. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion for the club, like any new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring this up, okay?
Right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just go with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Zalzar. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we all need or learn to get past soon.
True. I had Monika my poem.
Great job, Zalzar. I was going, in my head while reading it.
Okay.
It's really metaphorical. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. I guess so.
That way,
it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right?
I know, I tried to make her like it.
Writing that's full of imaginary and symbolism. And like Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and
okay, so that's why Sayori had the darker themes as well when we picked the words. I thought she was all about the happy things. Okay. Sad, okay, let's see. Yuri likes when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years to practice which I am assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet.
Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things.
Sure, I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while though before I feel comfortable doing this. Yes, it would.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kind of styles, but I'm always here to help you. I'll always help you find that's what suits you the most. Sorry if I stumble sometimes, but as I said, English is not my first language, so sometimes I stumble upon the words. Moist the palate. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
Sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
That's very, very true. Let's read it then. This is longer one. Holding wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction of the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. Wasn't home, I peered inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I'm real blind like a film left out of the sun. In the sun, but it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. That was pretty poetic. Not gonna lie, that was pretty poetic. What do you think? It's very freeform. What do you call it? Sorry, I'm not really that right person to ask for feedback. Okay, it's okay. It's kind of style that gotten pretty popular nowadays. There is a lot of poems have been
putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful, really powerful.
That was the impression behind this one. Inspiration behind this one.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
Epiphany?
Something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other.
I guess so. This is the second time we actually meet.
Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later.
That's good. Just write whatever you feel like and then you can just fix it later on. But just write whatever you feel like.
Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you just get the big dark puddle of ink.
I guess that's true.
So just move your hand and go for it with the flow. That's my advice of today. Thanks for listening.
She's adorable. Let's save, by the way. I haven't saved in a while. Let's continue a bit longer. I want to make the videos about around 30 to 40 minutes. Guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. So as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. Guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. Oh. As they read in tandem, I watched each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language? Did you say something? It's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
They have very different styles when they write poems, these two.
Thanks. Yours? Cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism? Or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just mean... the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Zalzar did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect this to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet.
Oh, savage.
And Zalzar liked my poem too, you know. He even told me how he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what I... you just... Yuri stands up. Oh my god, this is... Maybe just jealous that Zalzar appreciated my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more?
Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out on my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Thank you, Sayori. Is everyone alright?
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose
boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Zalzar started showing up. Savage, Natsuki.
Natsuki?
Natsuki, that's a little.
This doesn't...
Oh, they both... It doesn't involve you.
I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly both girls turn towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Zalzar?
She just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective. And this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poem all convoluted for no reason? The meaning of it should jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Zalzar.
Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. They both are right, I guess. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Zalzar? I don't want to choose. I don't want to choose. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they would probably think more high. Oh, I can pick Sayori. Oh my god, no. If I write a poem myself, or when I write anything, I am more of a complex guy. I like to use a very metaphorical language. So I'm gonna agree with Yuri. Natsuki, you write that I liked your poem.
See?
Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be mean, so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different.
That's what never happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously.
I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. Ugh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that...
Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said something that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. Defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. Oh. Maybe I should have picked Sayori. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. So she doesn't need to.
You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all of your faces right now.
Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hand and says, "Oh no! Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that." Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. Can't believe I acted like that. Probably hate me now.
No, not at all.
How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Zalzar. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now.
It's nothing.
One more thing. That's that one thing that Natsuki said about
Your boobs?
I would never do anything. So shameful.
She has a push-up bra, I'm pretty sure.
So? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea.
Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay?
Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems?
It was a lot of fun.
And I did say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
Zalzar, how about you?
I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poem will turn out even better.
Think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kind of poems everyone likes. That's good. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Zalzar, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go.
Hee.
Sayori beams at me. It surely has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. She's adorable. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that before. Seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Zalzar, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
Every day is going to be so much fun.
It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really needs to stop? Okay. I had even more intentions than what I thought. Well, you just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I passed Sayori on the shoulder. Said that more to myself than to her. But it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Let's do this. Oh, there we have the next... Okay. We're gonna end the video here. Sorry if the videos get a bit longer than I thought. I wanted to make them around 30-40 minutes, but I think this is a good ending to have this whole segment finished. But tell me in the comments down below what you think about it. Who is your favorite character? And please don't put any major spoilers in the comments, because if you do, I might block you from the channel completely. I don't want to get spoiled with this game. I know small things about the game, but no the major things. I'm not sure what's happening really. I know I've seen Yuri with a knife and Natsuki or Sayori hanging, but that's pretty much it. Please don't spoil this game for me more than what I've really seen from the internet. I'm enjoying this so much so far. But tell me in the comments down below who's your favorite girl. Currently, I think Yuri is my favorite, because she's the one that seems to be most like me. Actually, I'm very serious, a bit shy, even if that doesn't really show on camera, but yeah. But they are so adorable, all of them in their own way. But tell me in the comments down below. But never ever forget to stay awesome. Toodeloo!
Is this by chance or fate? Whenever it's just me